Catherine, thanks for joining Undercurrent. You've been in family law now for 20 years. As a lawyer, how have you seen it progress over the last 20 years?
It's interesting because a lot of people have commented to me that there are a lot of long marriages now. There used to be quite a prevalence of short marriages, and we're seeing a lot more people that have been married for 25 or 30 years, which is still very sad, but it's a good thing in a way because it means that they've kept their family intact for that period and then they've gone on and done other things, and it's less difficult in many ways to unravel that sort of situation when kids have grown up. And
there's always been criticism that it's more favourable to the mother than it is to the father. Is that your opinion?
It's more favourable to the primary carer of children, and in the past that's always been the mother, but that is changing a lot now, so we're seeing a lot more fathers coming through that are the primary carers, and so the court's more favourable in keeping the children stable, which is with their primary carer.
You caught our eye with your new guide, the De Novo Guide. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
So De Novo is an initiative to try and help people avoid the court system and reach an agreement and formalise it without having to spend a lot of money. It's a package that just lets people be informed about the process, get advice and get through the system without having too much misinformation and misunderstanding about it.
Doesn't this buck the trend though against what lawyers are normally, what we perceive lawyers to be about? They want to see longer hours, they want to see longer billable hours for their clients? Well,
it's interesting you say that because there's just an enormous groundswell at the moment, particularly overseas, that's now coming to Australia, trying to be more collaborative, and mediation is just huge in the United Kingdom, in the United States, and more family lawyers are working towards that because the benefits for society as a whole are so much better. And I think, it's a much more healthy environment for everyone to be in.
So what are the biggest mistakes someone makes when they go through a divorce?
Well, the nature of it's changed a little bit with the onset of the internet, but it's a little bit like the medical profession where you've got Dr. Google, we've got Judge Google. And so people read on the internet what they're going to get, and I had a guy yesterday who said, well, my wife said that she's entitled to 70%, but she doesn't want to be mean to me. And I said, well, how does she know that? And he said, oh, she knows. And I said, well, that's not the law, that's not what it is. So they researched it on the internet, they talked to their mate down the pub who got divorced last year, and that's what they think it is. So they come in after they've read all this stuff and we put them straight, but those people that don't come in or don't get proper legal advice, they go through the court system believing they're going to get the outcome that they've been told at the beginning, and they spend a lot of money to find out that they're not right.
Do you think marriages are on the rise, or are we going to do things differently in the future?
I think statistically marriage is increasing. There are obviously a lot of people who live in de facto relationships that are probably picked up by the census, but they're not as clear. And I think some recent cases in the family court will make people think twice about going into a de facto relationship as opposed to a marriage, because it's a lot harder to prove a de facto relationship than obviously it is to prove a marriage. And there's been some very, very surprising decisions recently where people have lived in what we thought were de facto relationships for 15, 20 years, and the court said, no, you weren't. What
do you love about Perth?
I think Perth is just a fantastic place to live. The people are just so generous and energetic, and it's just a beautiful place to live.